As always, wish to do a shout out to the 1.5 million listeners from the zsportslounge.com and the host of affiliates and the military bases stationed all over this planet that keep texting us and emailing us compliments. We greatly appreciate it all. Right now, we get a chance to talk to an owl. That's right, Temple University's head football coach, Al Golden. Sir, thank you.
Thank you, Bo. I love your energy.
It's early. We get here about 6 o'clock, and we pretty pump caffeine, intravenously through lines through our body.
That's good. That's good.
Coach, I always like when I hear that youngest coach in football at 40. It makes us old-timers feel really good when every single time they're talking about a guy in the NFL at 35 being too old.
I'll tell you what, the NFL, some of those coaches are so young now, it's amazing to me. But, yeah, I'm one of the youngest coaches still, but again, young coaches get fired too, so we got to start winning some football games, and hopefully we will do that here this weekend.
Well, from all the accounts, you've been very successful of what you've done in the back before coming to Temple. Temple's moving in the right direction. People are talking about the program. You had a nice win over Buffalo. Buffalo had tons of press and tons of love prior to this season, and that was a pretty decent game for y'all.
It was a good win. You know, they're the reigning MAC champions. They were picked to win, the MAC East, which, they should have been picked to win the MAC East. They had a lot of guys returning, so it was a good win for us. It was a convincing win. But there's no carryover minutes. It only counts as one, and we got to keep playing and keep winning.
Yeah, right now we look at Ron English. You're heading into Ypsilanti. They played a stellar game against Michigan the first half. They were able to shut it down, keep them off the field. In the second half, obviously Michigan figured out what to do. But are you able to look at that game footage for your guys and figure out how Ron English was able to do what he does and then counteract that?
First of all, I have a lot of respect for Coach English and the job that he's doing there. Eastern's a very veteran team, though. This is not a team that's playing 20 freshmen. This is a very veteran team, and so they know how to go into places like Michigan, and they had a chance to beat Northwestern, and they played well enough to have a chance to beat Army. So it's going to be obviously a struggle for it. It's going to be a tough game, and hopefully we'll play well.
Yeah, the MAC schools have really started bringing on top-notch coaches. I've never seen as many coaches that you could just read their bios and how successful they've been before coming to the MAC. The MAC has huge wins this season over, top opponents. It's got to be a pretty good place to be at right now at Temple University when you see the framework of the MAC really changing across the board.
I think so. When coaches that are at perennial big time for lack of a better word, BCS schools are taking MAC jobs now. It used to be a lot of those coaches would come up through the ranks and then go to the MAC. But, when Coach Haywood comes from Notre Dame and Coach English, obviously from, Michigan and Louisville takes a job. And Turner was at Nebraska. I was at Virginia. So there's guys from big-time programs now going into the MAC. And it also gives you an indication just how tough it is to become a head coach anymore. It's really hard, and so for guys, in this league, it's become very competitive. Not only in terms of what the players can do, but tactically and philosophically from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to break down a little bit of game and some of the stars that you've had on your squad. We always try to focus on the student athletes and those individuals that are really showing leadership for you on the field. You had one big loss against Penn State, which I think everybody, if they had Penn State in their schedule, they would chalk that up as a loss. But you've had some success stories on the field with the O-line and with some key players. Who are those gentlemen that are, entering their senior year this year that are really coming forward to help you on the field?
Well, I think on defense, it all starts with, the big three. We have three seniors, one on the defensive line. His name is Andre Neblett. He's an excellent player. He played his best game this past Saturday against Buffalo. Alex Joseph in the middle there, Mike linebacker. He's a senior. And then our safety is just an outstanding player, Dom Harris. He's a tremendous leader. He'll be an all-conference player. And Dom's really, really playing well right now. Had a big interception on Saturday, and is really a physical tackler. So on defense, those are the guys. On offense, we're a little bit younger, to be honest with you. So our tight end, Steve Maneri's doing a great job as a senior. Devin Tyler at left tackle is doing a great job, and Jason Harper. But other than that, on offense, the rest of the guys are juniors and sophomores. So we're fairly young on the offensive side.
I like that when people talk about an offensive line being young, offensive side being young, especially with a coach like yourself who has a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and a lot of ideas that I believe, from all accounts reading, everybody's embracing. However, you still have to play the games and still have to get them seasoned to bring them up to specs, because college football is not high school. A lot of guys don't realize, a lot of fans don't realize it. There's just a different pace that the game's at when these kids start stepping on and putting under the big lights.
That's a great point. Our biggest difference right now is our poise. We went into the Penn State game. We had more guys that showed poise and more guys that played a physical brand of football than we had in the past. Now, the score really didn't indicate it, but we played physically, and I think our guys got a lot of confidence out of that. And then we played with poise that we hadn't played against the MAC champions in Buffalo this Saturday. So I'm excited about that because our penalties are down, our running yards are up, we're much more physical and stronger than we have been, and but you got to prove it every Saturday. So hopefully, we've handled adversity here at Temple for 30 years. Hopefully, we can handle some prosperity now and become a good team.
Well, you've got the big games out of the way. Now you're going to go into the bulk of your season, but we're going to back up a little bit and talk about the fact of recruitment. Right now, we look at the framework of football, and it seems like every single program, whether it's a D2, 1AA, football championship, MAC, whatever it is, you've got cameras everywhere to help promote what you all do on the field and off the field. When you typically go in and talk to these young kids who are looking at possibly going to Michigan's or the USC's, they have an opportunity to play at MAC, and with the TV cameras everywhere and the radio and the promotion, it seems like it's an easier job than it was years ago to bring those students to your university.
Well, the problem is everybody has access to that now, so it's equally as competitive. I think our greatest advantage is our population density, as opposed to the other schools in the MAC. 45% of the nation's population is within 4 hours of our doorstep. So our guys, we have New York City, we have, of course, New Jersey's densely populated, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C., all within 3 hours of us. So there's a lot of room to obviously recruit. We don't have to go very far. There's still the number one factor in determining where kids go to college is geography. No matter what anybody says, that's still number one. We had over 1,600 kids attend our high school camps this year, which is a great advantage for us. So, from that standpoint, we're moving in the right direction. We don't really recruit against Penn State. I think one of the things that we've done well is, we know our customer. We know our customer and we know our brand, and I think we've done a good job qualifying our customer and recruiting kids to our university. So you don't have to beat Notre Dame and Penn State to be a champion in your league, and I think that's our goal here moving forward.
Absolutely. A lot of times you hear if coaches come in and that they want to win the whole thing right up front, and a lot of us sitting there going, well, you first have to win the games on your schedule before you can jump in.
That's it. I just want to win this week.
Absolutely. Coach, I want to
win today. I want to have, I don't want any kids to miss class today. I want to have a great practice. I want to have kids that make great decisions tonight, on the campus. And I just want to win today, and people think win today means you want to win, a championship right now. That's not what it means. It just means I want the kids to make good decisions, have a great attitude, practice really well today, and win today. If you win today, you got a chance for tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, it's going to be called today. So that's what we try to focus on.
Absolutely. Coach, I want to say thanks for taking time out of your schedule. We know how busy you are. We've heard that you're sort of like the Chucky of college sports. You spend as much time in there as Grodin used to.
Please don't. I don't want to do that now. I have a wife and kids I love, so I don't want to do that. But no, we're making progress here, and hopefully we have some great things coming here in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. Al Golden from Temple University football. He's got an incredible background, many bowl appearances, and he's going to bring his brand of football to the MAC, and we're going to watch him next couple of years grow. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you, Bill.
We are off the air. Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time.